I want to go into detail as to why I believed that NASDAQ would go higher. And I want you to take a look at the chart here. Upper left-hand corner, this is the weekly chart. This right here, this candle right here, is a mitigation block. Now, I don't talk too much about it, but it is basically the opposite of a breaker, but they are still both mitigation in essence. Now, we have a high, a low, and a higher high. No, lower high. You see that? That low between it is a mitigation block. If this high here was taken out with a higher run here, then that would be a bearish breaker. Bearish breakers are much more stronger in terms of resistance than a mitigation block. A mitigation block can be traded through. So in terms of how I use mitigation blocks, I typically side with using them as targets more so than entry, because they can be traded through. Breakers are kind of like, they're pretty formidable in the path of price action. It doesn't mean that they can't go through them. It doesn't mean I've never had a losing trade using a breaker, because I have. But mitigation blocks are better used for targeting purposes. I was using this one here with the expectation that the NASDAQ could try to gravitate towards that. If it were to go any higher, this small little fair value gap there, and obviously the buy side above it. So I have not called a high in the NASDAQ or ES. In fact, you've heard me emphatically state many times throughout the commentaries and or Twitter that I am not calling a high. My faith is based on where I believe the market's going to go. So yes, I believe I'm pretty good at predicting where price is going to go because I have experience doing it and I have tools to help me to do that. And I also can see where orders are going to be anyway. Before your ladders, your depth of market, before your footprint confirms what I already and my students already expect in terms of price delivery,